Hey, everybody. This afternoon, because it is afternoon when I'm doing this one, I wanted to think about something now that we're after Easter, um, a story that has touched lives for centuries now of being in a garden. Now, I know I've told you several stories about Mama and Daddy through my time in Armadale, especially. I don't always talk about my brother, Thomas, or Tom, as many people know him. He is my younger brother by 5 years. He makes me laugh. He has wisdom that keeps me going. He is an encourager of all kinds. And you grow up with somebody thinking you know pretty much everything about him. But a few years ago, we were talking about the church hymns. And it turns out that he said, just kind of offhand, that one of the ones that he liked was called In the Garden. I don't know why it surprised me, because it's a wonderful hymn. But still, it did. And I was glad that I had that little new insight into who he was and is. So today, in thinking about what happened on that first Easter, I will also share the one that he likes, In the Garden. But first, a little bit of setting. In the Gospel of John, chapter 20, there's this bit that happens right after they discover that the tomb is empty. Jesus is no longer there. But Mary stood weeping outside the tomb. As she wept, she bent over to look into the tomb, and she saw two angels in white sitting where the body of Jesus had been lying, one at the head, the other at the foot. They said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping?" She said to them, "They have taken away my Lord, and I don't know where they have laid him." When she had said this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not know that it was Jesus. Jesus said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping? Whom are you looking for?" Supposing him to be the gardener, she said to him, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have laid him, and I will take him away." Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned and said to him in Hebrew, "Rabboni," which means teacher. Jesus said to her, "Do not hold on to me, because I have not yet ascended to the Father, but go to my brothers and say to them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God." Mary Magdalene went and announced to the disciples, "I have seen the Lord," and she told them that he had said these things to her. Mary Magdalene got to be the first to witness the risen Jesus. And maybe it's a little bit encouraging that the first thing he said to her is a bit of social distancing, perhaps. "Do not hold on to me." Later, that changed, but for that moment, it wasn't time yet. And so, as we're trying to hang in with doing the physical distancing that must be done during this time, maybe we can take comfort in words that reminds us Jesus is with us in our midst, is as we gather, however we gather, in the garden. I come to the garden alone, while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses. And he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other speaks, and the sound of his voice is so sweet. The birds hush their singing, and the melody that he gave to me within my heart is ringing. And he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. I'd stay in the garden with him, though the night around me be falling, but he bids me go with a voice of woe. His voice to me is calling, and he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. Hang in there, or as Mama used to say, hangeth in there. This too shall pass, and we will walk in the garden and be able to hug each other again soon. Peace. Take care.